Hello, fellow benchwarmers, and welcome to the first video of the Waterboys YouTube channel. For now, it is just me. Hopefully, my friends will be joining me in later videos to come. But for now, this is my personal pre-free agency, or was supposed to be, but a lot of stuff happened today, mock draft. I'm going to be doing this in one or two parts, maybe three, just kind of splitting up the draft, so shorter videos, easier to focus on. I want feedback when I'm done, because don't be too hard on me. I'm not a professional at this or anything, so if I'm wrong, like maybe one guy is more suited for a 4-3 and I ended up putting him in a 3-4 defense, call me out on that. I want to know. I want that kind of feedback. But without further ado, the pick is in for number 1 overall. With the first overall pick, as you can see, I have the Arizona Cardinals taking Nick Bosa, edge from Ohio State. And, I don't know, some people have the Cardinals taking Kyler Murray number 1. I don't understand that. He was a one-year quarterback. He played really, really well, but you just can't pass up Nick Bosa. Plus, they just drafted Josh Rosen. I don't care how bad he did this year. You don't just give up on 1 year. They did that on their coach. I don't think it'd be any different if they moved on from their quarterback. I think it would be stupid to move on from Josh Rosen after 1 year. I thought it was stupid for them to move on from their coach. But to have Chandler Jones and Nick Bosa match up side by side, that would be dangerous, and it would be dumb to pass up. And just keep in mind, this mock draft is me keeping in mind that the teams aren't idiots, even though some of them are. So, the Cardinals, with the number 1 pick, take Nick Bosa. And the number 2 is in. And with number 2 overall, I have the San Francisco 49ers taking DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss. Now, some people might think this is way too high for him, but I think he had one hell of a combine. Sure, he might not be as agile as some might want your receiver to be, but I think he's such a burner, and the 49ers have a decent defense. I think they're all right. Maybe they would take an edge, and I'm probably wrong about this, but I just think they definitely need another target for their golden boy Jimmy G once he's healthy again. So that's my reasoning for it. Crucify me in the comments if you'll even watch this. Who knows? But DK Metcalf, number 2 overall. And number 3 is in. And with the number 3 pick, I have the Jets taking Josh Allen, edge out of Kentucky. Now, I'm a Packer fan, and this would make me kind of upset because I was hoping after we were done out of the playoffs, some people don't agree with me. I'm the type of person, just tank. And we didn't tank. We beat the Jets. But if we lost to the Jets, we would have had a top 5 pick and had a shot at Josh Allen. So if the Jets end up taking Josh Allen where I wanted the Packers to take him, that would be kind of just a kick to my ass. But it is what it is. Now, I know that the Jets could definitely use some offensive weapons, like maybe a new running back, some receivers, but I think they definitely need to solidify their defense a little bit. This guy could go after Tom Brady like crazy. He could definitely help out their defense. And I think their offense, they'll probably try to solve a little bit more in free agency. So I'm taking free agency into account into this just a little bit, but I'm trying to wait until moves are made. Like today, moves were made, and this kind of I had to redo a couple of my draft picks. But yeah, I have Josh Allen out of Kentucky going with New York at number 3. Think he'd be a great addition. And number 4 is in. And with the number 4 pick, I have the Raiders taking Montez Sweat, edge, out of Mississippi State. Now, am I the only one that has no goddamn idea what the Raiders are doing? Scratch that. I know I'm not. Like, I don't know if they're really. If John Gruden's a genius or insane. And it's probably a little bit of both. Like, trading Khalil Mack for picks was just. Trading Khalil Mack at all was just stupid. And as I said, I'm a Packer fan, so I hated that so much. But I think, assuming John Gruden isn't going to be like trading Derek Carr or anything, which, I don't even know. It's hard to predict this because the Raiders are so unpredictable right now. They just got Antonio Brown a couple days ago. And, well, I'm having him take an edge rusher. And Montez Sweat had a fantastic combine, and I just think he would be a great addition to the Raiders. I think they'd take a couple of edge rushers in this draft, probably maybe in the first round, maybe not. I actually, spoiler for later, is I don't have them taking another edge. I don't remember. Let me check my notes. This is professional. Nobody actually cares, though. Yeah, I don't have them taking another edge rusher in this draft. So, Montez Sweat, I think some people had him kind of falling to the Packers sometime at even 30. I don't think he'll fall that far anymore. I think this guy to John Gruden is a real Gruden grinder. So I think John Gruden thinks he'll get the job done. So that's number 4 pick. And number 5 is in. I'll get that voice down eventually. And with the number 5 overall pick, I have the Buccaneers taking Devin White, linebacker, out of LSU. Now, the Buccaneers, they might take a wide receiver because they just traded Deshaun Jackson to the Eagles, but I think they need to get some work on that defense, and I think they're gonna run with Jameis Winston for at least one more year, give him another chance. So they're gonna try and solidify that defense a little bit. Maybe they'll go O-line. I don't think anyone's going O-line early in this draft. So, Buccaneers, Devin White, linebacker out of LSU. I think it's a good fit. And the pick is in for number 6. And with the number 6 overall pick, I have the New York Giants taking Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, out of Ohio State. The Ohio State, as they always say, which, whatever. But they are finally taking the successor to Eli Manning. I think they should have done it last year, even if you have him sit for a year. Just, good God, draft somebody this year, please. Maybe they'll wait next year. I could probably see them waiting for another guy. I think they should. I don't know. The quarterback draft is kind of weak in this draft, in my opinion, but I think they're going to try and finally get the successor to Eli Manning. And the number 7 pick is in. And with the number 7 overall pick, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Kelvin Harmon, wide receiver, out of NC State. Now, this is one of the picks that screwed me up today because the Jaguars, like an hour or two before recording this, they signed Nick Foles. And they didn't actually sign him because free agency hasn't officially started yet, but Nick Foles is going to the Jaguars. I had them taking Kyler Murray. Now I have them taking a wide receiver because that is something that they definitely need. They're good at running back unless they decide to draft one, which in this draft would be kind of dumb to me to pick in the first round. Hell, I'm even on the fence about taking receivers in the first round. This just isn't a very offensive strength draft. It's just not. But some guys do that. I'm just trying to mix it up a bit. So I think the Jaguars take a wide receiver because you want to tell me who their wide receiver is? I don't know. So I think he's the second best receiver in the draft. Maybe not second best. because I just realized I might have screwed this up a bit. He's actually the fourth best, in my opinion, and I screwed up my whole draft. But I'm keeping it this way now. I'm finally recording it. I'm keeping it. So, Jaguars, final answer, taking Kelvin Harmon, NC State. And number 8 is in. And with the number 8 overall pick, I have the Detroit Lions taking Greedy Williams, cornerback out of LSU. They are the NFC North's youngest sibling that sits in the corner and eats paste. I don't think the team's that bad. I just think they're poorly run. I really do. I mean, Matt Stafford, he's a good quarterback, and the fact that you can't do crap with him baffles me. Now, if you solidify the defense a little bit with a cornerback duo with Greedy Williams and Darius Slay, I think that'll be dangerous. And I wouldn't want to face it, even with Aaron Rodgers. So, with the number 8 pick, Greedy Williams, LSU to Detroit Lions. And number 9 is in. And with the number 9 pick overall, I have the Buffalo Bills taking Marquise Brown, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. And since they can't have Antonio Brown, they'll settle for his cousin. I just think their defense is fine. They don't have any receivers. Their best receiver last year was Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, come on. And they cut him. So, Buffalo, they need a receiver badly. I think Marquise Brown, he's who I actually think is the second best receiver, maybe the best in this draft. Not Kelvin Harmon, that was my bad. But let us close this out with the number 10 pick. And with the number 10 pick closing out this video, I have the Denver Broncos taking A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Yes, I have 2 receivers back-to-back in the top 10. I have 3 receivers in the top 10. Some people might hate that, but that's what I'm going with. I think the Broncos have a solid defense already. I think they have a solid running back in Phillip Lindsay. I don't think they're going to go for a quarterback until next year when ultimately Joe Flacco, wow, I forgot about that. Until Joe Flacco ultimately flops, he'll be replaced by another guy next year. So, maybe he won't, but, they got rid of Demaryius Thomas, they gave him to the Texans, and they need another receiver. They just don't have one, and I think A.J. Brown, given who was on the board, I think A.J. Brown can be that next guy for them. I think it would be a really solid pick. If they want to go defense, that would also be really well, but I think they'll go wide receiver. I think he's too good for them to pass up with a need like that. So, there we have it. My first mock draft video. This is part 1. Part 2 will be coming hopefully tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday or so. I'm going to try and keep a small schedule going for this, but I've got my whole draft set up. Please subscribe so you can hit the notification button. You actually don't have to do that. I hate it when guys say that. You don't have to do that. If you really like me, you'll keep track of my videos. So, tune in for part 2 next time. Thank you for listening.